Awesome. Well, better. Welcome. All right. Afternoon, Jim. Hey, Robert. Yeah, my mother-in-law is off to the doctor today. My brother-in-law's taking her. We had her over the weekend. She's off to her doctor today. For those, some may know, they put a pacemaker in my mother-in-law. And number one, they didn't show us how to do anything. They gave us this big machine that's got to be connected and never told us what to do or how to do it or anything else. So that was definitely fun. But she's definitely doing better. Still very weak, but we're going on what now? Between 4 and 5 weeks. I think Sunday was 4 weeks since she went to the hospital for the first day. So, but the hospital kicked her out, and we came to find out why. It's because she refused PT 2 days while she's in physical therapy. She said, "No, I don't want it today." So they said, "Oh, if you don't want it, we don't need you here," right? So the insurance company said, "Sorry, Charlie, we're not paying anymore." Thanks, Patty. I appreciate it. Yeah, so overall good. I had to cancel my trip to Chicago last week because of some of the stuff going on. So I'll be back in 3 months. Actually, I got an email today about follow-up. I just don't know what it is, but I will definitely be back there. We'll do it the next time around. Yeah, thanks, Robert. I appreciate it. It was all last minute. I hadn't even gotten a chance to send Robert a text yet. And the company sent an email out to everybody that said, "Hey, and Rob's not coming, family problems." And Robert already had messaged me about it. So I appreciate that, Robert. All right, as we get started here, keep in mind everything we look at is for educational purposes. Nothing's meant to be advice or recommendations. If you like what you see, anything, make sure it fits your own personal risk profile and risk tolerance. Don't ever take on a trade or anything else if it doesn't suit you. I remember as a brand new trader just chasing stuff. Man, someone would come out and I would see this new thing and I go, "Ooh, shiny, let's go after that." And then you put the trade on and I go to sleep at night and I say, "Oh my God, I can't sleep. I'm freaking out over this trade that I put on, this 7-leg options trade that cost me $300 in commissions at that time," right? It's like, this is crazy, right? Crazy. Make sure it fits your own personal risk profile before you ever take it on. We have a lot happening here. Got Inner Circle coming up tonight at 7, 8 o'clock tonight is 2.0. We had what a great weekend with all of our expert coaches in there. We had Brandon, we had Amelia. Yes, Amelia. We had Sean. Ryan. It was awesome. It was an awesome day. Sean in our office is working on those videos. We're hoping to get, it's a lot. It's a full day of recordings. We're hoping to get those up today. If not, we should have them all up by tomorrow. We'll have some of them up today, but if not, we'll get the rest up tomorrow. The next one is tonight at 8 p.m. Next week, I'm teaching not only one day during the week, I think is Monday. The following week, the next, I should say. So Monday, and then the next Saturday, that upcoming Saturday of that same week, I think we're doing 5 or 6 hours. We've got slotted on that Saturday. And you get only me. There's no multiple coaches. It's just me. Mastermind group on the 24th. So we've got 23, 24, 26 is the regular Trading You. Inner Circle Q&A. Quarterly rather, is on Friday and Saturday. So that is 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. both days, 4 hours each day. Power option plays I will be doing on Thursday this week, as I will be out of town at one of my mastermind groups that I attend this week. Covered call, E-mini Vega spread on the regular schedule, as is Power Hour Trading Coaches Playbook. And we still have 2 more Trading Like a Pros coming up, October 25th and October 26th are those 2. So make sure you check those out. They're the last 2 out there. One is at 8 p.m. One is at 12 p.m. And they're both Eastern. Lee just dropped a link in there, so I appreciate that, Lee, very, 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 very much. Let's see. Morning, Kevin. Kevin said good morning, and to all, happy Monday. Yes. Yeah, Scott, we got to wait for the next one for the recording. We had a problem with the processing of it. It was a very ugly video this week. We had put it up there, and then we didn't realize that there was some in there, so we killed that video, and we're gonna wait and put the recording of the next one up. So we'll send the emails out once it goes up there, Scott. But it was a good training, just didn't record well. All right, here's our follow-us page. Make sure you're following along, folks. Sean and I laid out a plan about 2 weeks ago of some new trainings. We just did a whole series of TikToks last week. We spent an hour and a half just on these various TikToks, and they're short. They're like a minute each, minute and a half each. Maybe one of them hit 2 minutes, maybe. We spent an hour and a half on getting these done because we really wanted to hone in on just not little nuggets of gold. We're talking about freaking gold bars that got dropped all along the way, right? Inside of these TikToks. So I know. So I'm like, I don't want to be on TikTok. I get it. Go on a VPN and check it out from there. Make up an email address that you use for nothing else and see what you can do, right? Or you can watch some of the other trainings that we do on the other platforms. Make sure you do check out the Trading Like a Boss, right? Because on Trading Like a Boss, we do have everything, folks, including Brandon's Learn How to Trade Like a Pro. So listen, I need to do a little bit of a survey here at this point about Power Hour. Tell me if it's something you guys want to see us do or not. If the answer is no, then I'm not going to spend any time working on it. I brought it to my team the other day. Everybody seems to like the idea. What if we went ahead and set up it would be a free subscription to Power Hour. Well, Power Hour is free, yes, but you're not registering every week. You're registered for Power Hour until you say, I don't want to be in there any longer. So every week you will get your email sequence that says, oh, coming up today, you've got Power Hour. Don't miss. How many of you can give me a 1 for yes or 2 for no? You could type in yes. Wow. I mean, ones just lighten up the screen from multiple ones from each person. We're going to do the same thing with Trading Coach's Playbook is the goal, if you guys like it. And then this way, you don't have to come back and register because I know what's happening. Some of you missed the email on Monday that says, oh, don't forget today's Power Hour. And then you look, oh, man, it's 1 o'clock. I missed Power Hour today. This way, you'll get your emails during the week on Monday that tell you, hey, reminder, it's coming up today, as if you already are, not as if, because you will already be registered for that class. It seems like a yes. So, Lee, do me a favor, send an email to Suzanne and let her know that there was a 2 thumbs up for the subscriptions, free subscriptions to Power Hour. And then I believe we will be able to get it set up then on your members area. I believe we're working this part out, but I think it'll show up as your free membership. I think we can get it to show up right there. So you click on that and go to it. I think we're working on that part now. If not, you'll continue to get the email sequence. It's funny. I look at this calendar and I remember when the entire calendar took up like this much space here. That was it. That was like the whole freaking calendar was right there. And now we've got so much content on there. Where did okay, they got a brand new bar for the drawing tools. Go somewhere else. Yep, Jennifer, we're going to do the exact same thing for Trading Coach's Playbook. Yes, the exact same thing. We're going to do it for both. Absolutely, we're going to do it for both. Good. Okay, so let me bring us back in there. We were still chatting away. Here's our Trading Boss Manifesto. Make sure you read this, guys. You really should not commit it to memory, but get an understanding of exactly what it is that what we say as a company to help you become a boss at your trading. This is what it is. All right. And then there's Trading Like a Pro. Again, you can register for that class. Lee dropped that link in there. I'm sure we'll see it again by the end of the day. Oh, I don't want to go there yet. What trades did you guys do? Drop them in. Let me see what y'all did. Right. Jim said, sometimes I get my email after the class starts. It's either my email provider or the phone is not allowing new emails to come in. So having the same link would help. And it would not be the same link, Jim. It wouldn't work like that. What I mean by that is we have to do a new link every week, or else anybody who's ever registered forever will get an email to Power Hour. So that doesn't work. But it will be, our links are changed every week. So that link will be sent out every week, just like it is now. But you would not be registering for it. You would get it prior to the event, right? It goes out, I think, 3 hours prior, 1 hour prior, something like that. Okay, so Brenda said no trades today. John said Wheel of Fortune, Roku, Lynx, and Oracle naked put on SPY. Cash flow $1,600. Nice job as usual, John. Appreciate that. Drop in your other trades there. Yeah, there's a 3 hour prior, Jim, and I think there's a 1 hour prior. I think we send the email out 3 hours prior, and I think Zoom sends it out 1 hour prior. Something like that. I don't have, memorized all of those. Yeah, kudos to John. There you go, PK. I appreciate it. Jim said I get the 3 hours. You should get a 1 hour. I got a 1 hour from Zoom today because that's how I logged in, is I clicked on that Zoom link to log into class today. All right. So Amelia, many of you know Amelia. She's an amazing trader. She taught over the weekend. I still cannot believe I finally got her. When I say got her to teach live classes to people. I'm just that is the pinnacle. I can retire now. I got what I wanted. I got her to teach. I got her out of that comfort zone, and she did a great job along with the other coaches. Right. So this was a trade on SPY today. So at 9:55 this morning, she bought to open 5 SPY 419 calls at $2.13, right? Which was a limit price. She sold them at 10 o'clock, so 5 minutes later. So she got in here, right, on that orange rectangle that she's got in there, right? And she got in here on that breakout there, and she sold up here. It was a half gap fill at $2.43. So that is a 30-cent profit on that trade. 30 cents on one contract is $30. On 5 contracts is $150. Let's see where it opens up. So we take $150 and we multiply that by 5 days. That's $750 a week. So instead, we're going to do $150 times 220 trading days in a year. That's a $33,000 a year pay raise for doing this one stinky little trade every day, just with 5 contracts. If you're able to make $150, right? So great job to that one, Amelia. And that, again, that trade was over at 10 o'clock, right? Bullish trade, bought calls. Then she went ahead and on SPY, right? She wound up at, well, actually it was before, right? So I had them backwards. So the first one was at 9:38, right? That she did today. It was 5 contracts. She bought the 421 puts at 282. She sold them at 359. I need help. That's math. I don't want to do math. Let's see, 3.59 minus 282, 2.82. I'm sure some of you already have done it. 77 cents. She did 5 contracts, so that's times 500 shares, or $77 times 5. That's $385 plus the 150 today. That's $535 times 220 trading days a year. That's $117,000 a year profit, right? Very nice. Now, what if you only did half it? Heck, what about this? What if you only did 1 contract? Let's see. Divided by 1. No, 5. Sorry, my bad. $23,504 if you just did 1. JOT, just 1 trade, baby. Right? Just 1 trade. Really nice. Great job there, Amelia. Great job. Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was 220, Robert. Maybe you're right. You got holidays in there, so I'm not sure. You might be right. It might be 252. Either way, it's a really good profit. Maybe there was a day off in there for something that we did one time. I don't remember. All right. So I got 1 trade off today, Costco, right? So yesterday, when I did power option plays over the weekend, Costco closed just down below our 550, 547. We had a confluence of our 55 EMA in there, right? And we closed down Friday down here. It was about 553 or so. We gapped up today. Today's opening price was 554.14. We stretched all the way to high of 556.18. No, my bad. Not in pre-market, we did not. So we gapped up, and that was it. We gapped up and stayed at the high. And then we immediately fell off of there. Okay? We had a very quick move to the downside, right? And our goal, can't get any higher than that. Okay. Our goal here, let me just bring us back into Omega charts. Our goal here is this 546.05 is support. But, okay? That would be if we were trying to get out at the very, every penny. Just give it all to me. I want to take every penny of it. And we're not, of course. All right? On a $500 stock, we're going to be $3 off of that level. So that is rounded to 549, right? We came down to a low of 546, right? So 549, we're out of that trade. So we're in that trade, you know, right around, we opened up at like that 554 and jingle level, right? So right about 553-ish is where we're in that trade. We're out of that. So 553. We're out of that trade at 549. Right, so it's a $4 move in our favor. If you had a 70 delta, that's $2.80 on your options, right? Call it $2.50, $2.50. So overall, it was a really nice trade setup. I did not see anything I liked on SPY as a setup for pivots. I mean, pivot points. I did not see anything I liked on the Qs. None of them were very exciting for me. Yeah, so PK said, was it a micro day trading exit? So it was. So where did we go to? We got out at, I said, 49, correct? So where is 49? Let's put in a 549 there. Let's just change this over. All right, so PK, we got taken out at that level before we even got down to the micro day trading setup, right? But had you followed along with that, you get the big red candle, this one turned green, long wicky candle there. We start bouncing here. We would have been out at that level anyway, even if we waited till it came all the way down and bounced back up. So yes, in essence, it could have been taken out that way. For me, it was pop rolls, right? $3 above that support level, I put a target in. And when I teach you the best strategy for newer traders today, actually, I think it's the best strategy for every trader. When I teach you that strategy today, one of the techniques are going to be something that kind of relates directly to this, is what I did today, right? It's the best thing you possibly can do in these setups is this, all right? And in your trades is what I'm going to teach you today. All right, so let me see what we got here. Scott said, I missed the entry for that SPY gap fill trade. Yep, there you go, Scott. I hear you. You can't always get it, right? But SPY was just a great little setup today. And all of this now, if we take this and take everything that's happened so far this morning, the trade setups, all of that, the movements, let's go look at an end of day chart on SPX, right? And I'm going to, not only am I going to click on, I'm going to take the symbol grid down. Right? And we need to first back the train up, baby, and talk about a little bit of a bigger picture first on our daily chart. Yes, I know it might be a little bit busy. I need to open up my drawing tools because now I hate the Zoom drawing tools as of today even more than I did before today with this new graphical toolbar that I'm not a fan of the, oh, you should know what that icon means. Nope, just say draw, say pause, say color, you know, do something that tells me what's going on, all right? So let's get something in red, baby. So overall, we've got this really nice uptrend move. Long time to move in there. We didn't quite make it down to that support level that time, which is very encouraging from the bullish side, right? And then we came back and almost put in a fibit in here. You guys see that? See about equal distance between here and here, right? We came back to that midpoint there, right? We finally broke that, came back here, didn't last very long, and we broke, right? And then we broke, we pushed back up, and at this point, as we failed, we put a new downtrend line in. We paralleled that line up here, okay? And just off of that bottom, you can see where my blue, line is. It was getting too busy. That support line right here, there's blue. That area is where I drew the line from. I drew it between there. That's where it was, okay? So I didn't have second points at that point. I just had the one. I only need 2 points up on the top because this is my PL, which is my primary line, right? If you have a stock that's moving upward, your primary line is support, and here's why. If the stock is moving up and we come off support and we break up and we come back down and we bounce, even though we didn't make it to support, does that mean we're no longer bullish? No, we're still bullish, right? How are we not bullish? we break support. Well, support's your primary line. In a bearish trend, we're bearish unless we break the bearish line, resistance, and then we are something else, but it's no longer bearish, okay? Or might not be bearish. So that primary line is the first one that you draw. You always draw resistance first on a downtrend. You never, ever, ever draw support first. Resistance is where it all hinges off of. So I got my 1-2 points on resistance. I only really needed 1 point on support, although I had some back here to work off of. And I'm good to go. I draw my line, right? We push back up and we get down here, and then we break and we come down into a new set of lines, which really has no and I didn't even explain this one, but really has no, when you look, there's nothing here. There's nothing here. Why we got lines? Okay, let's get rid of that again. This distance in here. Okay, come on, one more time. We'll try clicking the red. This pattern in here, whatever this distance is from here to here, that is the exact same distance from here to here. And of course, don't go by the red lines that I drew. Go by the horizontal lines that are snapped into Omega charts. The distance between here and here is the exact same distance inside of here. Okay? So they're equal lanes on a highway is the way Ryan Litchfield explains them or describes them, right? You have equal distant support and or resistance levels on your chart. Okay, now, with that being said, we had this one drawn in here because once we broke this uptrend, I needed something else. And ironically, we came right down to it, pulled back up, right? And we failed. I'm sorry, we didn't come down to it. We're looking at this line. We didn't quite make it down there. We bounced up. We got into this new downtrend, and we failed now through this line, right? Through that support line. And we failed hard. Traders were waiting for a test of that level. We gapped down that next day and continued to push. We came back down into that bottom, all along putting in a series of lower highs and lower lows, right? We finally break this uptrend there. Now I'm going to zoom in on this, make it a little bit easier to see. All right, we'll grab that red pen again. We finally break here. We come back on the next day and we retest and we fail, and we failed hard. Big move to the downside that day. If you go high to low, it was an awesome move. Down to 42.46. We're at 43.46. It's about 100 points from high to low that day. So it was a really good, strong, bearish move that day. And I love that the bulls fought, trying to get back up, and failed harshly, and fell right down to the next fib line with a chipping away at the ice, right? We broke away at the ice right there, right? Bingo, beautiful, perfect, I love it. The next day we come back and retest and we fail. And over the weekend, this is what our candle looked like over the weekend, right? And I sat there and I said, we had one more vestige, one more support line, this downtrend line, and then this horizontal 42.1680, so 42.17 line, which was our swing low at the time. We have that level to contend with on the downside. But I don't see any reason stopping us from getting to 41.81. Did anybody hear me say that over the weekend in the last pop update? Let's see. Yeah, there you go, Robert. So you have multiple ones coming across the screen there. Right. So Jim said, and I haven't said anything about your comment yet, Jim, because I wanted to bring it current again. Right. Jim's comment was S&P low for today was 8 from the 41.81 and bounced. Wow. Exactly. So here's the thing. I've been screaming 41.81, 41.81, 41.81 for weeks, right? Months, actually, about 2.5, 3 months. Screaming it that we're going to get there, we're going to get there, we're going to get there. I was on Benzinga's show about a month and a half ago. We were talking about Powell and some stuff coming up, and I got into that 41.81. What do you think we're going to get a bounce? And I said, yeah, if we get the good news we expect, which we did, we had that strong day here off of that swing low at the time, we're going to look at a bounce, but where does it fail, right? And if we take that and extrapolate it out, and it's okay, if we look at just this move from where we were, that high down to that low, right? And where we wound up, You can see this line right here is purple in the background. That is my 618. That is a perfect, and I do mean a perfect H pattern. Now from H, we're looking at 1, 2, and usually a half, 2.5 lines. We went 3, we went 4, we went 5, right? On that H pattern. I'm going to get rid of that fib because it really doesn't belong there, okay? I don't need it, is what I'm getting at right now. So today we gapped down nicely. And where did we gap down to? We gapped down below that horizontal line, that swing low we had in there of the 42.1680. We gapped down, we stretched down, and we got to a low today of 41.8922. We have a horizontal fib line at 41.8528. We got to 41.89. Right? So we got $4 above that line is where we stopped, which was just $4 above the 41.81 fib line. Would you agree? Will anybody give me credit and say we, as far as we're concerned, we hit that 41.81 level? What do you guys think? Yes, no? 1 for yes, 2 for no is good. Did we hit that line? Damn Skippy, baby. Damn Skippy, we hit it, right? Support and resistance is not exact. We stretched right down to it and bounced. Now, would I have liked it to have at least pierced it first? Yes, I would have liked to have seen that first, right? Now, we are in a very weird spot right now, right? We still have the overall bearish pattern going on, right? From this downtrend, we could get back up into above the uptrend line, but we would have to break this resistance. To be out of downtrend, we've got to break this resistance line right here, right? Which could become a confluence of these two lines, that intersection there, right? Close enough for government work, even close enough for private practice work too, Scott. Okay, I'm with you. But man, as far as I'm concerned, we crushed it on that line. Boom, chagalaka, right? Right down to that level, and we stretched right off it. Now we're back up above the 618. We're back up above our recent swing low, which we can take out of there now. I'm not going to yet. I'll leave it in there and take it out and pop. We can get out of that level, get that level out of there at this point because we have a new swing low now at this point. But will we violate and break the previous swing high? If we don't, nothing's changed. We are still in an overall bearish pattern until stuff happens. Just getting above this diagonal line doesn't make us bullish, right? Even if you get above all of the moving averages, we still have this recent swing high to contend with, right? All of that plays a huge factor in it. Let's see. Jim said, put the 233 SMA up there. It's around 41.91. Yep. Yep. Let's see. $233 right now. The 233 is 41.91.52. 10 points up. Right? Again, we're close. We did cross it about a week and a half, probably 2 weeks ago on the 12th, which was a Thursday. So yeah, week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. Okay. I mean, we got right there. I don't normally leave the 233 on because it tends to scrunch the chart at times. And I like to not have that happen. I want to see a full screen of my chart. It's just the way I'm used to my techno analysis component. But we did amazing. If we go and break this out even further and look at a weekly chart, we are still in an overall bearish pattern. We're now sitting at support. So guess what? Nothing in there that says, ooh, we're ready to go up. Yes, could it be bouncing from here? Is there a confluence? Yes, but it's still bearish overall. Overall, it's still bearish. That's weekly. If we look at monthly, right, we had this overall bearish pattern. We started back in bullish here. And then for the last 4 months now, we've been in a very tight ranged bearish down. Bearish pattern right down again to that 41.81 is what we're looking at. All right. So all of the components of technicals, all the things that I weave in and out, day in and day out in my own trading have all come to fruition. We got right down where we wanted today and we bounced. Do I think we're going up from here based on that? No, I really don't. I really don't. I think hitting that level right now technically was traders ringing a bell. right? Oh, but wait, Rob, no one's talking about 4181 but you. Yeah, because it's a fib line, right? And that's not what, unless you're a fib trader, right? Kathy Woods talks about Fibonacci's in there, right? Although she doesn't talk 4181, okay? That I'm the individual that I have not seen anybody use fib number series as support and resistance levels ever. If you guys see it, I'd love to see how they work on it. I really would. But I've not. Okay. So most are not talking about that level. Then why did it ring the bell today and pop back up? Why did we do that? If no one knows it's there, why did we do that? Because they do know it's there up here. They just don't realize it's there. Subconsciously, something is telling you that there is something there. You just don't see it. And until that line gets laid down there and you understand the mechanics behind it, the reason behind it, the why, start with your why, the why behind it, you will never, ever, ever understand what just took place there. Okay, I see that it bounced there. Why? And that's what the question is going to be. Why did it bounce there? Most will never know. Most will have no idea. Just, all right, woo! So you know what someone's going to say? They're going to go, oh, well, there's historical support. If we go back and look at a weekly chart, historically, we have support at 4181. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, but we don't have support at 4181 because we drew a line there. We have support at 4181 because from once that line came in play, which was right here, we had no support there. This was an all-time high at this point. I remember when we first rang that bell. That was our all-time high right there. Right? That whole thing, you can't say, well, that was support. No. Well, it did it here. Yeah, it retested it before it bounced. Why? There was no solid line there. If we back into this a little bit, just want to make it bigger on the screen for you to see. Okay. If we back into it, yeah, we closed there, we closed there, we closed there, we gapped up, we gapped down, we wick. We bounced off of it, wick, closed there, open there. Yeah, so did we have a lot of hits on there? Yeah, but I wouldn't, off of this, I wouldn't say, okay, it's time to draw support or resistance. No, there's nothing there to draw off of. So when we came back to it a couple of days later to say, oh, that was a retest. Retest of what? There's no line there. Short-term resistance or all-time highs, maybe, but no line. It came back to it because it's the 4181. Go check this on any major index. Go check it on the Dow, on the NASDAQ, not 4181, but Fibonacci number series. And if you are not familiar with the how do I make that or get that Fibonacci number series to work? All right, it's very simple. Right, I'm just going to start with 3 and 5, right? 2 fib numbers, okay? And I'm going to put a formula in here. At sign sum, don't make comments on it, of this plus this. So my next fib number is 8, right? This is the Fibonacci number series. I'm just going to copy this and paste it all the way down. And there are my Fibonacci numbers. All right, that's the fib number series. So there's the 4181, 6765, 17711, 28675, which would be more of a Dow. That's not an S&P. But these numbers from inside of here, and you can put on the RUT the same way. Those numbers all have importance on the various indexes. Every one of them. Right? Every single one of them have importance, have power to them. And if we bring this back current, we're back into a daily chart. Right now, there are some that are saying, all right, the market's going bullish. Today, yeah, I'll give you that. We're up 14 lousy points today. Not from the low, from yesterday's close. We're up 14 points. Not a big move. After being down from multiple days ago, we had a high. We had a high of 43.93, we'll call it. And our low today is 41.89. That's 200 points. So in the last 5 days, we've dropped 200 points to be up 15 points today. Okay. Listen, it's not a bad thing, but it's okay. It just is. It isn't great. It isn't anything else. It just is. It just is. So Let's see. Jim said monthly is building an M pattern. Yeah, with a lower right shoulder, which would be awesome, right? Which would be awesome. Nice. Very nice. Cool. Okay. So from an intraday standpoint, we look at SPY instead of SPX, right? We gap down, came close to retest, but not really, never really bounced off the line here. Big run up. That bounce in there, this was too tight, S1, S2. I wasn't interested in it. It was a little too tight for me. And then we just vacillated. And then finally, at 11:10, we got a little breakout, 11:15, but too late at that point. We're still just getting over the levels we'd already been at. And then we just stopped at the pivot point. We're just hovering there at this point. So nothing clearly saying it is time to jump in a long directional trade. Right now, where does it go tomorrow? Up, down, or sideways? Probably. I mean, I'll guarantee that it's going to go up, down, or sideways. There's no question in my mind. Okay. But we've got this diagonal trend line, down line to look at. We've got that 41.81, 85 level to look at. We've got the 42.76 on the upside. Yeah, there you go, Brenda. Right on the upside. But we've got to watch what happens now. But sit yourself back in position number 3 in the chair. Okay, which means you are back here, hands behind your head, and you're analyzing from a big picture. You're not here where you're focused only on what's going on in one small spot. You look at the entire monitor back here, and it's a much different perspective when you're not trying to do something else. There's no multitasking, excuse me, or anything like that, right? You're just focused on what's going on. And as I look at this, I want someone to give me a reason that says we are ready to take a bullish entry on this trade. Now, excuse me, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that tomorrow, if the market's bullish, you can't take a small bounce on here and be out of this tomorrow. But we are in a true bearish bias right now. True bearish bias at a key level that we easily could see a fail off of. Today could be nothing more than a here kitty kitty after 3 strong down days. Strong down days. Right. So Karen said implied vols are crazy high on some stocks. Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of concern right now for multiple things. Guys, with all the stuff going on globally with, war and economies and everything else, the talk of globalization of a Bitcoin type coin, a universal coin for all nations to use, I think is pure insanity, right? Even if the US gets a piece out of it, it's pure insanity to me in my mind, okay? But what's going on with our own politics, government, we can't pick a speaker. I mean, how insane is this that a handful of individuals can hold the entire country hostage, which is what they're doing, right, by not picking a speaker. And then Powell coming out last week and going, kind of maybe sort of a little bit might not be done yet. So let's think about that for a little while. We'll get back to you and let you know. It's like, wait, what? Huh? Whoa, what? Right? All of that just driving concerns in the market. I saw a statistic over the weekend. I was surprised it was this high personally. But the statistic was 76% of individuals in the US are rethinking their current spending strategy based on a potential impending recession. 76%. While we are watching our savings dwindle and credit card balances rise, right? A lot of concern with what's going on, right? And I know for some, it comes down to, I got to cut back. So what do I cut back? I'll cut back on going out to eat. I'll cut back on, I'll bring lunch to work every day instead of, buy lunch off of a food truck or off of a deli, get a sandwich or something. I'll make my own sandwiches every day. And then people look at services and things that they can cut back on. We're going to get rid of the cleaning people, we'll get rid of the lawn care people. And listen, you can do all of that. Okay, that's great and fine and good. But anybody who owns a business or has owned a business, there's a phrase, and that phrase goes this way: when business is good, advertise. When business is bad, advertise more. You cannot work your way out of a hole by stopping and telling the world that you are doing what you do in business. You can't. You've got to be out there and you've got to be telling people what you do. Okay? This is your business. So when you look at this and go, well, maybe for a quarter, no, this quarter, you need to hunker down right now, keep doing what you're doing, and really put more time in if possible to learn this and get it down pat, right? Because here's the magic number. I talked about this not long ago, right? The magic number is the number 18. 18. 18 minutes a day. In 1 year, you will have more knowledge in a topic, in an area, than 95% of the people in the world. 18 minutes a day is what it takes to become that expert. And I'm not talking about 18 minutes while you're multitasking. I'm talking about focused, hyper-focused. You're doing the thing, right? You're doing the thing, and here's the part of it. You go back to Einstein's definition of insanity. I heard Ryan use that again this weekend in his training, of doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. If you're doing a trade and it just keeps going against you, and you just keep doing the same thing for the same 18 minutes every day, nothing's changed. There's no learning going on there. You've got to have your system evolve with what you see happening in your system. Okay? So for some of you, like those of you that are in Mastermind Inner Circle, you need to be in your one-on-ones with your mentors, where with one of our coaches, so they're helping you through that process. Right? That's the key there. Let's see. You got it, Brenda, for sure. Yeah, Robert said they're now thinking about their spending habits a little late to the party, aren't they? Yeah, I get it. But listen, people looked at our economy and said, man, it's been so good for so long. We've got it figured out. It ain't never going anywhere now. We're good. And then we got into this massive spending. And did we need some of it? Yes, some of it. But we still don't need COVID spending on the books at this point. We don't. I'm not talking about for vaccines or such. I'm talking about all the money that was allotted that did not go where it was supposed to, and they still want to keep that money available for other things. No. That's the number one thing to me wrong with all politics is you got a bill for raising the spending limit. Well, there should be nothing else in there. You shouldn't approve it as a Democrat, a Republican, an independent, whomever. You shouldn't give your vote because somebody's going to give you a park or somebody's going to give you money for something or whatever. It should just be based on that. Remember, we the people, not we the politician. All right? Focus on what the task at hand is. Right? So they're a little late to the party for sure, Robert. For traders, when everyone else is greedy, be conservative. When everyone else is fearful, be greedy. You got it, Trip. It's how millionaires and billionaires were made the last time around on after COVID hit. PK said, this may be a question for mastering the trade. Let's see if I can answer it. I will. When you take a trade on the SPY up the pivots and it's $1 off support and resistance like pop or something else. No, it's coming fast off of there, PK. 20 cents, maybe 25 cents. It's fast. It can't be $1. There's not enough room on pivots. It is definitely much, much tighter than that. All right. Yeah, you're welcome, PK. You're right, and right at the same time. All right, so where are we at? Oh man, we are just long in the wind today, huh? So I didn't do this last week. The best strategy for a new trader, and it's really not just for a new trader. I'm going to tell you the strategy that I use today. Take the word new out of there. It's all good. I'm going to tell you the strategy that I used today. Actually, let's do it this way. By the magic of computers. Best strategy for a trader. Right? For traders, whatever you want to call it. Okay, good enough. Today on Costco, it was a very straightforward strategy. I did a directional trade. I just bought call options, okay, put options. You're just buying directional strategy, directional position. Mine were puts today, but directional strategy, okay? Just buying a directional trade, calls and puts. That's not the strategy, though. The strategy is actually a tweak inside of it. Now, this tweak will work regardless of whether you are doing a directional trade like calls and puts, or you are focused on credit spreads, diagonal spreads, covered calls, naked puts, Wheel of Fortune, iron condors, E-mini, Vega. It doesn't matter. The number one thing that you can do inside of your strategy, new trader, existing trader, any trader, is put that trade on and leave. Walk away. Walk away. Because today, as Costco came back down, had I been diligently focused on this, I could have easily turned around and said, you know, let me just pull the stop, the target off of there and see if we can't get one more candle. Just one more candle, right? And too many times traders get their heads handed to them. And would I have made money still on it? Yes. Would it have been enough? Yeah, it's still profitable, right? That's not the worst part of it. What if it's your stop and you start tightening up, getting tight on your stop, getting close to your stop, and you say, you know what? I think the stop might be a little too tight. So I'm going to pull it off and give it just a little more wiggle room. And you're sitting there watching it. The phone rings. You pick up the phone, you start talking, and then you get one of these massive candles shows up and you blew through your stop. And then you're like, all right, hold up, bye. You finally get rid of the phone. You're not, focused on that now. You're focused on your trade. And now you're waiting to say, all right, are we going to get back? Instead of doing that, right? Instead of doing that, place your trade and then set a stop and a target and walk away. Walk away. All right. You need to get out the way of that trade. You are your own worst enemy when it comes to a trade. Right. So let me ask you a question there. Do any of you ever feel like when you get into a trade, the market just seems to go in the exact opposite direction? Does that ever happen to anybody in here? Where you get in a trade and I'm in and it just goes the opposite direction. Like, what the heck? Why? Yeah. Why? What happened there? For most of us, PK said. Yeah. For most of us, right? I swear they're watching me. Tripp said, shut the camera off on your computer so they can't see anymore. Right? Here's a great strategy for those of you that happens to, and I can give you a strategy that will almost instantly turn you profitable. Okay? Whatever you think, you look at that stock and say, it's going down today. Instead of buying puts, buy calls. Just do the exact opposite. I mean, if most of your trades are going against you, you're profitable right out of the gate until you start to second guess it. Well, I think it's going down, so mentally I want it to go up, so I'm going to say it's going up, but it's really going down, and now you're second guessing the way it's supposed to go along the path, right? Instead of that, set your trade up, place your entry, and then go and set an OCO order up in there where you put a target and a stop, simple on a call, buy and call or put. You set a target and a stop, and you walk away. One cancels other. If it hits your target, the stop is canceled out. If it hits your stop, the GTC is canceled out. It's done. Okay? It is the best thing you could ever do as a trader. Now, I do believe, especially as a newer trader, you can look at spreads and covered calls and all of that. But realistically, directional trades will be the easiest to understand. There's no question. Just buying calls, buying puts will be the simplest to understand. All right? For sure. Yeah, so good point. Kevin said ExxonMobil long. We'll get to ExxonMobil. I got you, Kevin. Okay. So who was the big news today? I don't know where my pad went. I think I threw it out. But Chevron is buying Hess, right? HES is the ticker symbol. I actually was watching CNBC when I caught an announcement. I don't know how many times they said it today. Joe Kernan gets up there and asks somebody, do you remember when the company used to be called Amaretta Hess? I'm like, oh yeah, I do remember that. And then Joe, in his infinite wisdom, goes, useless information. I'm like, that's you, Joe. Full of useless information. Did you see the Cincinnati Reds this weekend? No, this is a stock market show. I'm not here to watch about sports. I'm here to watch stock market. Okay. So guys, you can be looking at diagonal spreads on Hess. They're talking about mid 2024, but we have no final date. So plan on that first quarter of 24. So you've probably got 3 to 5 months for sure that you could be in that long option. Okay. So definitely, might be a consideration for you on a setup there, right? Just bring that current. Okay. Bueno. All right. What stocks you want to look at? Drop them in. We got a few minutes left. Kevin had said ExxonMobil long earnings on Friday before the open. So Kevin, I am not a fan of trying to supersede or guess earnings. One more. Sorry. All right. But they are in a bearish pattern right now. Not true bear, but we're close enough. I am of the belief that if you're taking directional trades on an earnings candidate, you take it the morning or day, whenever you take it after the announcement comes in, not pre the announcement. If you're doing pre-announcement, I would be doing more hedging type strategies, buying calls and puts, strangle straddles and so forth, right? I'm not a fan of going against the grain altogether. All right. So, but based on this, I see nothing long, and based on the earnings, I would definitely be cautious on the earnings part. Okay. You gotcha there, Rick. All right. So Rick's asking for Cisco. Gee, I wonder why. All right. So Cisco looking bearish without a doubt. No doubt about it. Let's unscrunch that. Let's go over to template number 1. And let's go ahead and let's start off by drawing a fib. There's a lot of stair steps in here. I mean, a lot. Right? That is clearly where things changed from what it was. We had a big move up and this pullback. We had a really nice pullback in there into that gap and go. Goodness gracious. So there is no real good answer to it. It's a 50-50 of whether you take the fib from here or you start it from back here. Right? I mean, it literally is a 50-50 on that. Right? I'm going to leave it here. No, actually, I'm not. I'm going to put it back. Too tight there. Okay. Even here is a little bit too tight for me. 52 to 53, 50 to 52, 51, 50 and a half to 52. It's a little too tight for me. So we'll pull this out. All right, let's do that one more time. It's too far indented. All right, there we go. So right now it's kind of formed its own little box, its own little rectangle in the middle of nowhere, literally. Okay. So Rick, I'm not liking anything I see on Cisco at this point. All right. If we go back to template number 2, right, I'm not liking anything that I see at all. 52 is the downside target. I hope that helps, Rick. Brenda's asking for QQQ. All right. So we're in a true bearish bias at this point. Right? We did get back above the 357.5 level. If we can bounce right now, if we closed here, we'd have a switchback trade, right? We could take this up to about 361.5. We're down to 351 3/4. So we'll call it 352. Okay. So we've got a decent amount of room on both sides, even to the upside with the moving average there. We're looking at 57.5 to 61. That's $4. We get $2, $2.50 of it maybe, and that's it. but there's plenty of room. You know, $2 with a 70 delta is awesome. Okay, so it is sitting though at a true bearish bias right now still. So I would really prefer the fail of the 357.5 level right here, retest and drop, and that would be a great entry for me there. On SPY, there's the entire fib. We're pressing down on the 764. We just got back up above the 618. Same thing, true bearish bias. We're sitting at the 618. Roll over, retest, and fail up that 423 level. We're looking at 418 as support. It's $5, right? If you get the bounce and the move up, you still have 29 up. 23 up to 27, we'll call it. So it's about $4 to the upside. So there's definitely some room on the upside, without a doubt, right? But bearish is where I'm leaning on both of these, Brenda. You're welcome, Kevin. Rick, you're welcome. Jim said, ExxonMobil buying PXD. Look at PXD instead. Let's take a look. So, oil and gas exploration. All right, let me see something. PXD. All right, PXD. Nope. All right. So it didn't register. Let's go try it again. All right. PXD. So diagonal, we'd be out in March. We don't have anything with enough open interest in March. Let's see if January does. January has enough, but it's just too short a period away. I'd want to know when their buyout takes place. You can go out to June. We got plenty of open interest here. You're just looking at $2.50 bid-ask spread on the 240s. But you're looking at paying about $27. Let's call them $27. Right? And if we sold this week, 40 delta, you're getting about 228. Call it 2.25 for the 250s. And here we were looking at, it's only $10 away. So you got a couple of weeks of buyout there to buy out around June of 2024. And that's, I like that, Jim, because it gives me a lot of time to write my my positions, my diagonals against my long call options here. So I like that a lot. Might indicate why Exxon has got the pattern going on that it does. Tripp said, beware of PXD earnings are on Wednesday. There you go. Excuse me. 10:25 is a Wednesday, right? It's Wednesday. Okay. Excellent. 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 All right. So this morning we were in a meeting, and my team loves springing these things on me, but they gave me notice this time. I brought up that we're going to be doing a Fibonacci training at some point. We're going to do a live training similar to what we're doing on Trading You 2.0 live. But I want the questions. I want the interaction. I really want, if I've got to record it anyway, what's the difference of doing it on my own or doing it with a live audience? The live audience, I'm more restricted on when I can do it. I can't just wake up at 6 in the morning and start recording one day, right? Because we've got to have people there. But the biggest advantage is that you guys, for me, you guys get to ask questions, and it might be something that I missed or maybe didn't do a good job explaining, and the question helped to root that out, and I got it across better. As we look at it, it looks like it's a full 2-day training is what we wind up with, right? So somewhere between 12 to 15 hours of training is what we're anticipating this to be, okay? So this is going to be, they've got me slotted for second quarter of next year. I think I want to try to get it done the end of first quarter. If it was second quarter, it would be the very beginning of the second quarter. More like that April timeframe than June, right? Timeframe. So just keep your eyes open for that, guys. I'm excited for it. There's probably going to be about 12 modules, 13 modules in there that we're going to do. there's so much that we don't talk about. There's so many tools that we don't use regularly, like the Fibonacci time zones, and some of the ones like that, the ABC patterns and so forth. There's some advanced things that we're going to be looking at. So I'm really excited for that coming up. So with that, we are now at the end of our time. So Lee dropped in a link for you guys to get into Brandon's training. Go ahead and register for that. We've already sent a message out to my team that, yes, we do want to work on the subscriptions for the free Power Hour and Trading Coaches Playbook. So we'll get kicking on that as soon as possible as well. So with that, make it a profitable day. Stay focused on the quest to becoming a great trader. Keep crushing it. And remember, you're just one trade away. Take care, everybody. Have a great rest of your day. Safe trading, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.